Carlos Ulberg. Guys, I would like to talk to you about his dominating performance, and I would like to talk to you about his offer to get on a plane, fly to Las Vegas, and be a backup fighter for this weekend's title fight. Like, everything has gotten very interesting between Pierre and Ankalaev in a very short period of time. I mean, this is the fight that nobody asked for. And I don't say that from a negative standpoint. You guys didn't ask for the fight. When I say nobody, what a broad statement. Alex Pierre did not ask for the fight. When I say nobody, what a broad statement. Well, there would be an exception, which is Ankalaev. The way this story went, Ankalaev beat Pierre. Ankalaev then called out Pierre. And called him out again and again and again. All right. So here we are. But while we are here, now all of a sudden these two get something going on at the PI. There's some kind of a back and forth. Ultimately, they resolve this together using Google Translator. Have you guys have you seen this bit that I'm talking about? So they both start going back and forth, but they both understand I don't speak your language and I don't speak your language, and my interpreter is giving this to me in English, and I only get a little bit of English, so let's just go to Google Translator so you will know exactly the claims I'm making, and I will know exactly the claims you're making. All right, great. I mean, as far as a piece of theater, this is pretty good. This is pretty comical. Meanwhile, Ulberg, Ryan, am I saying that right? Carlos Ulberg goes and fights Reyes over the weekend in Australia. This is a main event fight. Now, Reyes, I believed, beat Jon Jones. I did not believe, oh, this will be close and maybe he'll win. I believed he won 3 rounds to 2. This was very clear, and he was going to become the champion of the world. So when that did not happen, like the climb back after that kind of a heartbreak, it's a very tough one, but wherever Dominic Reyes goes, a potential number 1 contendership follows him. If you beat Dominic Reyes, it means something. Oh, by the way, if Dominic Reyes can get enough good ones in his favor, it's going to mean something. So Ulberg beats him. And Ulberg immediately says, I am willing to be the backup fighter for Ankalaev and Pierre. I realize that's on a different continent, 1 week away. I realize that will mean there's no training camp, some pretty sleepless nights. But I'll get the paperwork done. I'll beat the scale, and I'll be available if you need me. Now, allegedly, Hunter Campbell said, we'll have a plane ticket for you, and we'll have a seat. Meaning, yes, come on out. This wasn't our plan. We don't have a backup fighter. We accept. Come be a backup fighter. It's a very big deal. It's a very big deal in my opinion. There's only 2 times in history that the backup fighter did not go on to fight for the title next. Could you tell me those 2 times? I'd be impressed. One of them just happened. Sarukian. Who's the other one? I just look at it and I think it's a very coveted spot. Not to mention for this fight that nobody asked for between Pierre and Ankalaev. A lot has been added to that in this last week, and I think that the addition of Ulberg is another piece to that. I think I'll never get my way. The marketing department and Chael only disagree on one thing, which is I believe the backup fighter is more coveted. I believe it's fun to say, well, what would happen if this guy steps in? And what if it's against this opponent? I think it's fun to have a round robin. And the UFC does not agree. They think that's confusing. We want to tell the audience straightforward what it is we're bringing them. I get it. It would be an experiment. It's never been done before where we would start doing breakdowns and go, now if Ulberg gets in and it's against Ankalaev, here's what his strategy is going to be. And if Ulberg gets in and it's against Pierre, here's what that fight's going to look like. We've never tried it. It would be an experiment. But it feels somewhat necessary under these circumstances. If Ulberg is going to get on a plane, and we just saw this a few weeks ago with one of Khamzat Chimaev's teammates. It came from a contender series on Tuesday night and then got into the actual octagon on Saturday night. It dispels a lot of notions that you have. Fighters inherently are very lazy people. A fighter is only going to get called to go to work 3 times a year. You're not guaranteed that he's going to answer the bell those 3 times. Like, inherently, fighters are excuse makers. I didn't have a training camp and I didn't have enough time and my weight was too heavy and my coach said no, and inherently. But generally speaking, there is something to be said for momentum, and when we see somebody on short notice, they typically not only do better than the experts said they were going to do, they win. Chimaev's entire career got kicked off, not for being a good fighter, not for being a tough guy, not because he had the potential to be a future champion. He fought on Saturday, he weighed in the following Friday, and fought the following Saturday. That is how this kicked off. He showed everybody that training camps are just words. That strategy and gamesmanship and eating right and sleeping well, these are just things you say. One guy is better at fighting than the other guy. And you don't need 4 months in between. And it is interesting. It's very interesting if Ulberg was to step in. As puckered up as Pierre is going to be to face Ankalaev, because he knows that threat and he studied him very well, and as puckered up as Ankalaev is going to be to face Pierre, for the exact same reason, which is he knows that threat and he knows him well and he's experienced before, both of them are going to pucker a little bit more if it's Ulberg, because that's not who they planned for. It's not who was in the plans. By the way, if Ulberg, by taking the position of backup fighter, follows suit every time but 2, and becomes the new #1 contender, that has tremendous triple-down effects all the way to Khalil Roundtree and Prohaska, which is the fight I'm looking at to produce a #1 contender. But there are problems with that fight. Roundtree and Prohaska, there's problems with that fight being a #1 contendership, which is parity. Who's going to be the champion of that time? Pierre fought one of them once, fought one of them twice. Between the 2 of them, he's got 3 finishes. And that's where a guy like Ulberg can come in really handy. It's fresh, it's new. Makes you wonder. I like Ulberg's spot. I like his willingness. I hope that the reports are true, that they're taking him up on the offer. I will be in Vegas this weekend. I will be at the weigh-ins. I hope when I'm there, I see Ulberg, and I hope I see him on the scale.